One of the things that you're going to take out of this unit is when I'm solving a quadratic equation, in order to use the zero product property, the first thing I need to do is make one side of my equation equal to 0. So in this case, I have 3x squared plus 75 equals negative 30x. Before I do any work, I'm going to add 30x to both sides so that one side is equal to 0. And right now we're adding and equaling 0. We want to change this to multiplying and equaling 0. So we're going to factor this. Can you see that each of these terms has a common factor of 3? If you have a common factor, you will always like to take that out to begin with, because that changes the quadratic equation that you're trying to factor into something easier. How do I factor x squared plus 10x minus plus 25? Be x and x, two numbers that multiply to 25, so my outside and inside is 10. 5 and 5. They would both have to be plus to get positive 10, and just a quick check to see if it works, and it does. Now, by factoring out the 3, right now we're multiplying three things together. 3 times x plus 5 times x plus 5. So any one of those could equal 0. If I start with this x plus 5, what would x have to be 0? Minus 5. If I look at this x plus 5, what would x have to be to equal 0? Minus 5. If you look at the 3, will 3 ever equal 0? No. And so this one, the answer is only one answer, and it's x minus 5. Later on in grade 12, you're going to say this is an answer with multiplicity too, because it happened twice. But right now, we only got one answer. The answer is x minus 5, even though it happened twice. Part B, 5x squared equals negative 20x. So again, we recognize that this is a quadratic equation because we have an x squared, and we'll always solve quadratic equations by making one side equal to 0. So I'm going to add 20x to both sides. Does this have any common factors? Yes, what can you factor out? 5x. That would leave me with x there plus 4. We don't have a quadratic anymore. In fact, we've factored this completely. Where's our multiplication? Our multiplication is right here. So I like to draw a line where the multiplication is. Look at your first factor, which is 5x. Could that ever be equal to 0? When x is equal to 0. Perfect. Could this one ever be equal to 0? When x is minus 4. So those are our two answers. Questions for practice. Questions 8 to 11 and 13.